Okay, this video we're going to go through the curb ramp civil cells available in Corps of Engineers civil cell library. So you can see the perpendicular ramp cell. We've got a parallel here, and then we've got a one-way directional. We've got a left and a right version of those there. All right, we're going to start off and go through the placement edits of the perpendicular cell first, and then we'll come back and go through the parallel pretty quickly, and then the one-way pretty quickly as well. So a pretty good bit of detail on the perpendicular, probably not as much on these other cells. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and say OK.
Now, what I'm going to actually do is just kind of jump out of that command because I haven't drawn one of those refs I need. So first thing I need to do is go um, choose the line from element. You can see I've got this set. Alright, so basically I'm just placing a line 90 degrees from my edge of pavement there. And then how far back it just needs to be beyond the ramp tie, generally at least about 10 or 11 feet long or whatever. This one's probably more like 20 feet long, but at least too long not going to hurt you. Too short and it will, the cell could fail on that. Okay, so let's go back and select this place cell command, and then just kind of going through the prompts, the gutter line or your gutter flow line, which is there, the back top up curb, which is that, and then the ramp center line placed from edge of pavement to beyond ramp tie. It's that. And as far as directional arrows, you can see that's away uh, from the roadway there, and then left to right. As you know, if you were standing and looking at that curb ramp there, so that all looks good. So we'll reset, and then select corridors to be clipped. I'm going to turn construction class back on. We're going to choose that, reset, and accept that cell. Okay, and then what we're going to go over next is horizontal vertical edits. Okay, so as far as horizontal edits, controlling that width of the ramp is pretty straightforward. These two parallel lines there, you can see the name, sidewalk width control. I'm not going to change that, but if you wanted to change the width of that ramp, you could change it there. Another edit, and this is based on how you actually created. This is the reference element, the ramp center line. So that's what we created prior to placing the cell. So depending on how you place that, as long as you place it 90 degrees off of that, if you want to come in and trying to find that handler. Oh, it's down here. So yeah, so this handler. So if I want to move, that roundabout, right? Come over here if I want to move it right there. You can see that roundabout move there. And then really the other edits are kind of vertical. All the horizontal edits are kind of vertical related, other than this one here. And really, this is just a line here that really shows you, gives you an example, or really tells you where you really need a landing area. I think this element's called turning space. So really, your turning space area there. Obviously, that can be changed. The vertical edits. What I'm going to actually do is I'm going to open up this profile of this element here, and if we'll look at that, it's at 794, um, which is less than 1 to 12. So if we wanted 1 to 12 on this ramp, at the other side there. You see this is actually 856. So 1 to 12 is 8.33%. So we're not achieving that maximum slope there. So what you would do to to improve this slope is come in and change this value here. So you're editing the horizontal here, and I'm going to set that to negative 8.5. So we're editing horizontal to force our vertical to comply there. And you can see when we made that change, you can see this change here, and now we're under that 1 to 12 slope. Another thing, if we'll look at this element and look at properties, you can see this slope is positive 2%. That's something you could change. We actually have 2% off the back top of curb to this right there. So if you need it, if you sloped it away from the curb, you could just change that slope there. So a couple of other edits, horizontal edits that are related to vertical edits really. So if we'll come in and grab this element there. Alright, so you can see this is 5 feet initially on the side there. And if I come in and look, so if I wanted to open this profile model of that element there, that's how you do that. You choose that element, and then we'll come over and take a look at this slope. That says 13.55%. Say I wanted a 10 to 1 or 10% there. Really the way to edit that is to drive back down and grab that horizontal and change that. So I'm going to just change this to like 10 feet. And then we'll watch and see what the vertical does here. Alright, look at that. That's 873. That's better than the 10%. So I think I'm going to stick with that. And then we'll go back and look at this other side. So right click, you can see how I'm doing that, opening that profile model there from element properties. And we'll choose this. That's 738%. So actually that's good there. But if I wanted to just even make this a little more, this curb ramp a little more symmetrical, I would just come in and just also change this length there to 10 feet. Okay, so that's kind of it for as far as horizontal and vertical edits. The last change I'm going to make, I'm going to actually move this sidewalk here that's going through the ramp right now. I'm going to move it back, and I'll utilize that as your landing or your turning space there. Alright, so to do that, I'm going to just go to corridor objects, and we'll go to parametric constraint, and we're going to lock to start, and then we're going to change the sidewalk front buffer width, which is that width there, that green space there. I'm going to start and then go to 8.5. Alright, so data point, and then I'm going to just come in and just do a snap there. Okay, and then I'm going to add another. I'm going to go 8.5 to 8.5, and then so we'll go this time from there to there. I changed that. I actually accidentally typed in 8.8. I'll fix that though. So we'll change that to 8.5. And then we'll add one more to transition that back to its normal width. So 8.5 to 1.5. And then I'm going to just transition Okay. We'll come in and kind of take a look at that curb ramp there. Okay, that's a overview of the perpendicular curb ramp that's provided in the delivered workspace. I guess one more thing I was going to show. Uh, there's a surface template here, right? And then as far as this curb transition you see down at the front end, that's actually a linear template right here. So that's that. There is a point control tying that curb back top to the graphical back top or the hard geometry. There's your point control I was just mentioning there. So you can switch those out as needed.
Alright, so let's go through the curb ramp parallel placement next. And just kind of follow the prompts. So the curb flow line, curb back top, the backup sidewalk, and then the ramp center line. And it's placed from the edge of pavement to somewhere beyond, right, the back tie again. I think these reference elements look okay. And no, they actually didn't, so I'm going to change the direction of these. So I had to flip those a couple times, so I actually had to change that. I think, there's definitely a way here. I kind of thought it was left to right here. This geometry looks good. That initially didn't look good there. I'll probably take another look or two at that and try to see if I can see what's going on. I'm gonna go ahead and place this up. So reset, select corridor to be clipped. So I'm gonna turn construction class back on, grab that, reset, and accept this sale. Alright, you can see the sale here. As far as edits on this, I mean we got a couple linear templates handling the curve transition on the back and the front here. And obviously we've got a surface template right here. But as far as hard geometry, I really think this back side is going to drive. So if we come over here and right click and grab this, so we've got 6 feet here, right? And then that's something you could open the profile up and take a look at that. That is actually driving this here. You see that snap and that snap? And then it would be similar if I came up here and grabbed this element right there. And so that's actually driving that. And so, so the back is actually driving. And like I said, you can open up any of these and take a look at the profile there. I say any of these. Really, you're going to want to look at the profile. Really 3 different places here. This one, right? Which you can just change the length to flatten the grade if you need to do that. And then for this one here, you would change this length back here if you need a better grade up here. Horizontal edits, obviously the width you can change. The back's tied to that sidewalk back that you chose. You can look at the profile, I believe, of this line. No, not that one. Let's see if that profile could be on this one. Yeah, and so this is the profile there. And we're just drawing a 2% up, right? And so that curve height is going to be a little bit variable depending on, what you got going here, how wide your sidewalk is, and all that. But you can see this is driving the profile, and we're just going 2% from that, basically that curve flow line. Really, curb back top that is transitioned down to the same elevation as what the curb flow line is there, right? So we're going up 2% back here. And I think initially, if I took a look at this, what are we doing here initially? Not that, but gotta go to profile model. Add. That's what I'm going to look at. And so it looks like that's 676. And it's, it just depends on how far you're transitioning up there. We're transitioning 6 feet. So if we change that, we change that 6 feet, which I think 6% is going to be fine for anything you need. Generally, it's talking about a 1 to 12, maybe 833 for that. So we're beating that. But if I wasn't, right, and it's going to be dictated by what this grade is out here. But if I wasn't, I'd come back in and change that distance right there to flatten this out. All right, so that's just a quick overview of that sail. A lot of similarities between it and the perpendicular that we went over in a lot of detail. I'm just not going to spend just a ton of time going through that one. All right, so the last curb ramp swivel sail we're going to go over is the directional, the one-way directional ones here. You see we've got a left and a right version of that. You can see will be the intersection, so this would be a left and intersection over here, and this would be the right one here. So we'll just go through and place one of these. Let's go with this left, and then just follow the prompts. There is a lot of prompts. It's actually 8 here. So through road, edge of pavement, so that's going to be your primary road, right? Edge of pavement. Curb flow line in the curve area, right? So that would be here. Back top of curb, face of sidewalk beyond the curve, right? So we're going back down here. This would be the face of the sidewalk. This would be the back of the sidewalk. And then there's 3 data points. I'm going to just do a near snap. And really, you just need to be further back than what this ramp would go. So if you got like a real small radius here, maybe 10 feet or less, I think always I'm going to be beyond the PC point here. I guess, ultimately you could snap up in here, but I like to move beyond the PC point just a little bit. And data point, and then for those 2 prompts, so there's data point face, and then near snap, data point back of sidewalk, and then the last one is data point close to the secondary road center line. So I'm gonna just come over here and just right in this area right in here, data point, and really all that's doing is basically creating a partial offset from these data points to that data point right here. And that's kind of how it's drawn these purple elements you can see in the cell there. Really just something to give me a little length to work with. All right, so as far as the direction of arrows, these for the left, these are all going to be in the direction you're seeing here. And the geometry, you can see this element here, you can see this element here. So that's something you definitely want to be looking for. That looks good. And so I'm going to say reset, select the corridor to be clipped. I'm going to clip that. I'm going to say reset and accept this cell. Alright, and if we'll come in here and take a look, I'm going to just rotate this view. We'll kind of take a look at this, see what it looks like. You can actually see it here. Probably go to like transparent, maybe even smooth, may look better than that. That's not the greatest. Go to see a transparent one. That may be as good as it gets, but you can see what we're doing here. We're basically just breaking this curve there, and you can see this ramp there. Obviously, there's some cleanup to this, which we'll kind of go through a few of the edits and a little bit of the cleanup here in just a second. All right, let me go ahead and rotate this view here just a little bit. kind of get these two kind of lined up. We're basically about at that angle right there. So here's the ramp, here's the ramp, and if we turn off construction class, you can kind of see it. You can see it a little bit better here. These purple lines do take up those are your critical elements there, and they're really really all we're doing is just coming over here and doing some, like I said, we're doing some partial offsets, right? So like that, partial offset off that through road edge of pavement, right, to build this. That one's partial offset again from there to this data point there, right? And all those are really for is just so I can, kind of generate what this is going to look like, and really just give me some elements that I can come in. So these are kind of my parent elements here, there, and then I'm getting about that one there. It's like a little offset there that represents curb height. So those would be these two outside ones would be like your curb height. I'm sorry, your curb width. Right, and then talking about really kind of diving into these just a little bit. And again, if we come over and just turn this level off, not that one, but grab this. If I turn that level off, for whatever reason, I don't know, I can't cut that level off, but maybe because it's on default, I should be able to get that. So it's on level. There we go. So you see the sail just a little bit better here. Here's your sidewalk coming into there, and really part of the cleanup is, definitely taking a look at the grades. Let's go over just a few of the horizontal edits. So if we come over here, there's actually a little 1 foot segment here called road sidewalk base. Right, that's one foot. You can obviously change that 1 foot to however you want. And then it's actually controlling this length on this other side over here. So if I right click, RD sidewalk back, right, you see the snap there. All right, so you can control this initial width there. Let me look at the profile of that element just real quick. So if I come in and grab that, go to view 7, it looks like it's maybe a 2% up initially. So that's what you're getting, 2%, probably right here, probably on both of those. Look at that, I would imagine again, probably 2%. All right, so, and then you would, one of the things you'd want to look at here, I think initially this is just a data point. We're just doing a quick profile transition. It appears to be more than 2%, probably just because that's kicking this up by going 2%. You may want to go in there and change this to 1% to bring that down just a little bit. And then as far as horizontal, going back to horizontal, this back element here, you can see this element is 5.993. Well, that's actually getting that off this front. That front's 6 feet, so we're basically just drawing up at, I don't even know what percent, up at a certain percentage for 6 feet. And that is definitely, if you change that 6 feet to something longer, right? In general, what you're going to do is just come in and look at this profile, right? You can kind of see, you can grab it and see what that grade there is. And basically, we're going, it's 4.16, and basically it's going from that 2%, all right, 2% up to here, and then it's going whatever to get me up to this normal sidewalk, right? And so, but that is something that if you needed to, lengthen that or shorten that, you could do that. Because it's a hard grade you want to hit here. You want to hit whatever that sidewalk slope is. And then I guess one last thing would be the slope of this here, which should be, I think, a positive 2% up. And that's really generally behind that curb and gutter. You want 2% up there, not always, but that's really all we're doing is matching that on the back. Plus a little bit on the horizontal and vertical. We do have, we've got a couple linear templates here that are right. So if we so you can see these linear templates that are being drawn there and there. I've got the stroking down real tight there, so you're getting a bunch of template drops. And it's really the reason I'm doing that is really because of how we're handling. Let me go back and cut all the levels on. Go to levels, all on. All right, but basically, I'm on this back. I think I'm dropping a template up here. I've actually got some elements up under right like that. So I've got under this element, that's that road sidewalk back, the face is over there. We've also got some template drop and point control elements that are on construction class. And so basically you do have individual elements here, right, there that you can make edits on pretty easily. But we basically have made a copy right on top of those elements. Same thing over here. And we've created some construction class elements that are meant to either be the template drop, right? Like I do know on this side here, if we'll come in and just right click a couple of times, you're going to see there's a RWD sidewalk face. You can also see there is a, let me rotate through it one more time. It should be a template drop. I'm having problems right clicking, so let me try to roll through it one more time. That's not it. Where's that template drop element at? I do have, yeah, I've got construction class on. So I can't see it. So again, if I come in here, oh, I just saw it. That's the linear template. And if we go a couple more, right there. So all I've done is created elements right on top of those two elements that we were just talking about, that 1 foot segment, that 6 foot segment. I just did a single offset entire element right on top of the self. I took the profile off of those, the sidewalk face elements there. And then I complex this so that I could drop a template on it. That's what's doing this drawing. And then again, basically, I've got a point control element that's right there. You can see that. I may have already shown you this, but dropping a template, and that's what's drawing. That's why this template drops so tight. Is that I'm dropping a template over here that's drawing this curve. When it gets there, it's turning, and so your curve and gutter is actually following this turn there. All right, with a point control. That's what that point control element does there. Other than that, there is still some cleanup here. You do have to either bring this down or bring this up till it matches this. Again, you can stretch this out as far as you want to, or as short as you want to, as long as you're matching your slopes in there. I'm not going to really get into the cleanup. I don't do a lot of cleanup right in here and right back here. I would probably, I'd probably come in and cut construction class on and actually edit. Probably would edit this template right here, and probably would get rid of anything behind the curb and gutter. Now, I think I'm clipping right now initially, so that would actually bring some of this primary road back right in there. So I'd have to probably use the template display rule to get rid of some of that. But basically, I'd just kind of get rid of, and I may even make some more template drops, right? I may start a template drop right here and carry it on down, or I may grab this. You wouldn't want to. You got to leave this template drop because we're using these as references. So your curve and gutter's got to pretty much stay. But what you could do is maybe add a template drop from this point down, And you're really just going to have to come in there and kind of clean this up with some modeling. I mean, it should be pretty straightforward. You got some elements here you could build a terrain from, and I don't think that's a little bit more than I want to get into with this. What this cell does, it draws the curve around. I just didn't. It's complicated enough. I really didn't want to add a bunch of other stuff to kind of handle this. There'd probably be some rounded shoulder modeling back here where you're going from you can see his shoulder out here. You got a shoulder right here, so it definitely I would be doing something right in here. Um, but I really think all that's just going to be kind of. I would really honestly get rid of edit this, get rid of everything except the curb and gutter, and then I would probably use the template display rule to cut everything off through that intersection. And then I'd do what I got to do to model this area. Right? Maybe add a little shoulder geometry to make this rounding. Maybe build a terrain model right in this area. And again, I may go further back, or I may, bring this further forward. Right? I may place another template back here that actually draws the sidewalk up to this point. But that's just some of that cleanup work you're gonna have to do there.